welcome back to Scream With Me. My name is Rusty, and this is me horror and music channel where I talk about my favorite movies and my favorite music. And now we're going to talk about a little hidden gem, I guess you could call them, that I found. This movie was released in 2009 and it blew my ass away. And it's called The Disappearance of Alice Creed. Now, some may argue whether it's a horror movie or not, but it's basically a kidnap torture horror movie. And everybody has their own views of what is and is not a horror movie and all of the different subgenres. And that's fine. You can have whatever opinion you want. That's exactly why it's called an opinion. So, I'm fiddling with my hair as usual. Have you ever noticed if you've got a little circle of horror channels or whatever, everybody seems to have little quirks, their little personal things that they do. One person in my circle has a habit of messing with their hat all the time and stuff like that. I shake and fiddle with me hair. Maybe I'm one of the few people that's got hair these days with that weird fad that's been going around, but you will see me doing that a lot. Fiddling with me hair and me socks. Nervous energy or just bored the fuck, can't sit still, that's me. But this movie was released in 2009. It stars Gemma Arterton, Eddie Marsan, and Martin Compston. And interestingly enough, that's it. And you know what's funny about it is the movie had me so entranced that I didn't really realize that this movie had three people. It had three people in it the whole damn time. So, you know, it's got to be a really good movie to do that. To be able to... I'm going to grab a brush now because it's irritating me. But to be able to do that and hold my attention, and I really didn't notice until probably the third act that it occurred to me, there's been nobody else in this movie. No like extra cast, no, you know, little side people or anything like that. It's just all right there. So, basically this girl here, she gets kidnapped by these two methodical OCD kidnappers who are holding her for ransom. Now, the things that they did to her were so uncomfortable to me as I was watching. I was just like, if anybody has any question as to whether these kind of movies are horror movies, then all they have to do is you know, watch stuff like that. It's just phenomenal. Both of the guys are like morons, or they seem to be, but very, very meticulous morons. So you're watching this go along, and you know, as you watch this go along and they're going about their plan, you become just entranced. I'm telling you, this movie hypnotized me as I watched it. You know, I mean, it just really made me stare at it. Like, I couldn't take my eyes off of the way, the cinematography, the way that it was filmed. And this whole time you're wondering what the hell is going on. And then the twists start happening that you don't really expect to be happening with just three people. And I don't know how much I want to give away, because this is one of those movies where the twists, the devil's in the details, and the twists are really, really, really interesting as far as making you remember this movie and like this movie, because you just are blown away by how immersed you become in this situation. And as you watch the twist happen, you're like, wow, okay, so he's and she's okay, but then what about, and then more twists happen, and it goes this way. And I think I'm most amazed about the fact that just three people in a movie that's what, an hour and a half long. Oh, it's an hour and 40 minutes long, and yet they keep you completely enthralled the whole time. The two kidnappers and her keep you enthralled, and then there's the escape, and then the recapture, and the twists, and then it all ends up at the end. I'd say there's probably like 5 or 6 really shocking twists between these three people, and in this thing that just leaves you dumbfounded. This definitely went into my hidden indie gems because I had never heard of it, and yet there it was. And when I looked it up, a rich man's daughter is held captive in an abandoned apartment by 2 former convicts who abducted her and hold her ransom in exchange for her father's money. And that's what made me buy it when I saw the trailer, which will be in this video, of course. And I was completely blown away. And it doesn't say anything about who's in it or who's not in it, or when you watch the trailer, it just really doesn't occur to you that there really is nobody else in this movie except these 3 people. Her and him and him. And that's it. There is no other extras. There's no meetup someplace. I think the only time you've ever even seen another human being in the movie was possibly during the kidnap scene where they grabbed her off the street. I think that may have been the only time you may have seen another human being, and even at the end you see no other human being. I was completely blown away, and I want so bad to talk about the twist, but it would be like a big spoiler. I'm trying to think, is there anything I can say? I could ask you some questions. Do you think she knows either one of these? They're convicts. They kidnap her. I wonder if she knows either one of them. How did they choose her? Who are they? Are they a couple? Is she a couple with one of them? Does she know either one of them? They obviously know each other. They were in prison together. Are they a couple? Is she a couple with one of them? Is one of them playing both of them? Is she playing them? Is she and one of them playing the other one? These are questions that will be answered if you watch this movie. And there you go. You heard all the questions. Some of those questions cannot be answered yes if some of them are not. So I didn't give it away. But those are some questions you could ask yourself. And this is one of those movies that I'll be irritating about, because I usually don't give a shit about spoilers, and I just, because I like discussing the story. But I really feel that if I answered those questions for you that I just asked, that you would miss out on a really, really good what the fuck moment. A lot of what the fuck moments. I think you would miss out on those if I told you which one of those questions were answerable, and which one of those questions answered the other one, and what if any of those questions were answered at all. I can't tell you, but what I will say is you really should watch this movie, or find it, or buy it. I love having this movie in my collection. I loved it so much I had to do a video on it. 2009, The Disappearance of Alice Creed. Director Jeff Blakeson. Writer Jeff Blakeson. He did a damn good job. Gemma Arterton, Eddie Marsan, and Martin Compston. The Disappearance of Alice Creed. Torture scenes are something. It's a horror movie. If somebody, if if somebody did to me what was done to in this movie, it's a horror movie. But thank you for joining this little short one. And I will be back shortly with another to talk about. Love you. Miss you.